Ah, right. So I was just telling you about my greatest triumph during my time at Skatham Insurance, the Lean-To Tavern's reassessment. See, the tavern was in this tiny Varisian village called Whortle. Quiet place, very boggy. But lately, they'd had problems. Claim after claim. All from this tiny little tavern. Things got so bad it became an inside joke at the office, throwing more gold in the swamp, we'd say. So I went to visit, and the pieces quickly fell into place. Everyone knew something was off about one of the patrons, a gnome by the name of Hretha Wallafa. He sat at the bar, drank all day, drank all night, and mumbled to himself in a way that I quickly noticed had the taint of magic to it. So it seemed obvious, a case of sabotage, and the town guard quickly apprehended our little suspect. But, on digging deeper, the truth turned out to be quite a nightmare. Oh, right, I haven't gotten to that part yet. See, Hreth had a runny beak. The gnome mumbled and talked ceaselessly in captivity. But of all I heard him say, one thing stood out to me. He said, "Dream witch comes. She hungers. She's fed on me, and she'll feed on you too." And I realized, ever since arriving in town, my dreams were filled with nothing but terrible nightmares about misfiled paperwork and excessive deductibles. Ruffles my feathers just thinking about it. But anyways, it seemed that was it, that the claims would stop. But my instinct told me I should dig deeper. And while it took many days, I made sudden progress when I came across what I can only assume was the long-abandoned gnome home of our expensive little nihilist. I went inside and saw trash laying everywhere. Vermin crawled out of the walls. Fungus and mold grew in a way that I knew would not be good for my respiratory health. But walking around, I noticed something odd. Hollow floors. I got out my shovel, a quill, and formed 325K to document the unauthorized exploration of an incarcerated person's house. And then I began digging. It wasn't long before I dug into a network of caves beneath the earth. The walls dripped with thick scales of slimy, dark plants. The air hung heavy with fear, and I heard a steady beating noise coming from deep within the earth, calling to me in whispers that gnawed at the darkest corners of my mind. Oh, dear. It seems I'm late for my next appointment. So anyways, long story short, it turns out the lair belonged to a creature born from the fragments of a million nightmares snapped together into a mind-warping abomination. Suffice to say, I got out of the tunnels faster than a chick from the nest, and quickly wrangled up some adventurers to handle the job. They were actually a pretty quirky lot, now that I think about it. 2 fighters who liked to drink as much as they liked to fight. A cleric who had been touched by Saren Rai herself. A kitsune sorcerer whose bloodline ritualistically entwined with red dragons going back generations. She showed me how she could use her dragon breath to cook a bird right out of the air and have it ready for supper before it even hit the ground. Anyway, they all died horrible, miserable deaths. So I got another group, and they had more luck. Their deaths were quick and painless, and what few remains we found were cheap to bury. But the third time was the charm. They took care of the Dream Witch, and, more importantly, I got to adjust the tavern's deductibles down by 3%. Anyways, you get the idea. All's well that ends well. It seems I need to run though. I have some liabilities to adjust. It was enjoyable talking to you. Definitely stop by Skatham if you ever find yourself in Absalom, and be sure to cheer for me in the upcoming competition. Farewell!